Hey guys, Deathslayer Magic here, and we've got just a small amount of spoilers today. In fact, I was only covering the purple rarity and the mythics because that's where the money is, which leaves us with 3 new cards, so I'll hit those first, but then I did add in some of the big money rares too, because why wouldn't I? And as soon as I possibly can, I'm going to get an EV calculation. Hopefully sometime tomorrow or Sunday I'll have that video out, so watch for that. We will finally know at that point if the set is profitable, and I guarantee you, just mathematically, right now in my head, I can tell you it's going to come down to the rares. It clearly has not come down to the purple rarity cards because almost none of them are worth money. So first up, we've got Secret Plans. Cool card, but it's only 25 cents. Next up, we've got Manifold Key, which was just in Core Set 2020 as an uncommon, which is why it's only about 59 cents, but it's a cool card. Pretty much just asking for an infinite combo, but for 59 cents, I'm going to guess it wasn't that doable. And finally, from the new cards, we've got Sorceress Spyglass. Strangely enough, 25 cents. I would have said $1.50. I guess it kind of calmed down because it's been banned from everything. Or was it just like banned, unbanned, then banned again from Brawl or something? I just remember some crazy drama with this thing. I think this was the very first card banned from Brawl, but it could have been Baral Chief of Compliance. It was one of the two. Might have been simultaneous. I love how they're like, this just shuts down your commander if your commander is a planeswalker. Yeah, well, so does that white enchantment, so what? Boo-hoo, maybe you shouldn't have picked a planeswalker. Maybe there does need to be a downside, just saying. So moving on to the fairly noteworthy high-value rares, and this is not an extensive list, but we've got Pact of Negation, and my gosh, is this worth some money. This is a $23 card currently. Oh, that's the Time Spiral Remastered price. Original Future set is closer to 40, and then of course we had the Masters 25 version, which is still floating in around 30. MM1 was 30 bucks. So yeah, I mean this fell, but not that much, and I just never got, it's like, really, you're going to consider MM1 and Masters 25 that much older? If anything, this is the lower print volume. This is the rarer one. And wasn't Masters 25 caught up in the really bad paper era where it didn't have to be a foil to curl? It could have been one of the Japanese produced one. I have no idea. That was a long time ago. So anyway, having a card this crazy expensive sitting there in the rare slot is much more valuable than having it in the mythic slot. So moving on, we've got even more good news with Urborg, Tomb of Yagmoth. I might be biased because this was in at least one of my modern decks, but this card cannot be printed enough. The fact that it's still pre-ordering for $20 makes me think it's a little too expensive. Lands in general need to be cheaper. That's their number one source of value when they're doing a reprint heavy set. So I say just throw lands at the wall until every single dang one of them's under $10. Because, I mean, you probably need 4 of them unless you're playing Commander. This one's legendary, different story, but like Nykthos I would run 4 of. So, those are, 18 bucks? It's like you can't just start off your deck with the mana base costing like over $100. That's, in any format in my opinion, that's very not approachable by new people. Heck, it's not very approachable by longtime players that are just broke, like me. And yeah, I mean, I think I threw 2 of these in because that's all I could afford. I bought them in heavy play, and there was still like 20, 30 bucks when I bought them. This was years ago, so yeah. I mean, I love the value, but like, these need to be cheaper. Next up, okay, are we just building all of my modern decks now? This is SEAL Team 6's emergency plan in the sideboard. It's Angel's Grace. Oh, no. This is from Tap Dance. My gosh, why would SEAL Team 6 run this? Yeah, it's from my Tap Dance deck. It's the emergency, like, okay, I get it. Your deck is too fast. It's too much control. You're not going to let me do anything. Well, then I'm going to sit here and not lose the game because that deck runs the Cloney Stick. What happens if you can generate a copy of this spell every single turn? Well, it starts with the phrase, you can't lose the game this turn. So I'll let you guess. This mixed with Silence is like a game ender. It is ridiculous. In fact, Silence is the better card, and I do believe they've actually put that in this set as well. So this wonderfully underappreciated card, which I think at the time I bought it a couple years ago was only $4, it is now $12 because people have come to appreciate it. I mean, let's be honest, it's like a white super counterspell. Next up, we got Magus of the Moon coming in at a solid $10. I guess that would be my cutoff for considering it a good pack when the packs are going to cost, about $7? You could probably get $6 or $7 in, trade-in value, buy list, whatever, in-store credit, probably a little bit more. Not to say that I like this card. I do not, and I really don't like Blood Moon either. As much as I love people playing mono, I mean, let's be honest. If it's modern format, I don't think you can expect people to all play mono just to dodge one card. Even that some of my mono decks, like my devotion decks, they got some fancy lands in them. So yeah, Magus of the Moon, non-basic lands are mountains. Fantastic. At least he's a 2/2 and he has no evasion. Next up, we got Nether Trader, also coming in at about $10. He has haste, which is kind of unique for a black creature, especially one that looks dead and slow. I mean, just look at that artwork. He doesn't look like he'd, be in the Olympics. Anyway, he has Shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with Shadow. Very annoying, borderline unfair, but he is a 1/1 for 2 double black. And then whenever another creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay 1 black mana. If you do, return Nether Trader from your graveyard to the battlefield. So he's not good on his own, but you start doing death triggers, start doing some recursion, start strapping some equipment or auras to him. Yeah, he can do some damage pretty quick there. The haste and the pseudo unblockable is pretty nuts too. I mean, this is a solid card. That's why it's $10 for a 1/1 that costs 2. Next up, Swarmyard. It's a rare land, of course, $10. You can bring it in untapped, tap it for colorless, nice, and then tap it, regenerate target insect, rat, spider, or squirrel. It basically taps it and saves it from getting killed. I don't know why Wizards kept saying that was confusing people. I'll be honest with you, I don't know who plays this, what deck it's in, or why it's $10, but I like the idea of it. And finally, oh, you knew I was including this one. It's Dryad Arbor, non-cheater edition. It's in the non-cheater frame, which brings it right down to $7. I'm going to check right now. I'm going to check what the cheater frame is. Oh yes, the cheaty version that is virtually indistinguishable visually from an actual basic land is $35. Now why would that be? Why do you think that would possibly be the case? When Mr. Fugly Frame Future Sight one is $12, which you look at that from a distance and say, is that even a Magic the Gathering card? It looks like a different card game. Then we've got the Mystery Booster one at $10, which looks like the Fugly Future Sight frame. And then we've got the current one, of course, at $7 from Time Spiral Remastered. No surprise there. Oh, somebody pulled this and I went off on them. The video was a little controversial, but most people were on my side. So this is simultaneously a forest, land, and a creature that's a 1/1. It is both. Why they felt the need to do this, I don't know. This is the only card that does this that I know of. So it's a unique oddity in the game. But yeah, what the person did was either, I think it was supposed to be on the creature line and they put on the land line, or it was supposed to be on the land line and they put on the creature line. I forgot which one even makes more sense, and I thought maybe they finally issued not really a ruling on it, but like a judge rule enforcement suggestion or something. It's like the executive order of the Magic rule book, in that it's not in it. I don't know, maybe they did eventually make it a rule. This is like a history test, this whole set. Like, this is like 5 years ago. But yeah, somebody didn't know that they had like a blocker, or they didn't know that they had 1 more mana, whatever it was, because they were hiding it in the wrong zone, basically. But there was no distinct rule saying what you do with such a unique card. And it ended up costing somebody the game, and then they complained to the judge. And they're like, I don't like where he put that. And then I guess the judge was just like, you should have paid attention, which, yeah, I could see it. And every pro player or ex-pro player who's honest will tell you, yes, people get the one that looks like a land to, well, then it must be hidden on their landline. And then all of a sudden they've got a creature there to block and screw with you or attack with, or just, you don't know it's a creature because it looks like a land. So there's a reason the one that looks like a land is 3.5 times more expensive. People were talking about just banning that one artwork of the card, and people were saying, well, you can't ban an artwork and leave the card legal, except they literally did that. There's one specific land art that's banned. I don't remember what it is. I think it's because it was really misleading and there was a mistake printed on it or something, but they banned that one instance of the card. So yeah, a lot of history with this one. Everybody kind of wishes this card would just go away, but if anybody's playing the FTV version of it instead of the new, now $7 version from Time Spiral, yeah, they're trying to cheat. And if they try to slip that onto their landline, tell them it goes on the creature line. I'm pretty sure that's some kind of best practices policy / rule / I don't know. Just, who cares? Just tell them you made up the rule and now they're doing it, or you're going to leave. That works too. So yeah, not one of the better liked cards in the Magic world. So that is it for today. Like I said, as soon as I possibly can, I'm going to be getting the EV calculation video out, so watch for that. Thanks for watching in the meantime, and I will see you guys next video.